Okay guys, so we're going to look at the solo to Little Wing by Laurence Juber, his cover of Jimi Hendrix's version. This was a request from Chris. If you want to request any lessons, just pop over to Patreon and you can do that over there. As this is quite an improvised solo, we're going to look at the album version. We're not going to go into crazy detail, trying to give you the ideas around what it's based, because he changes it every time. So if there's a bit you don't like or whatever, you can just change that. And ideas to do that. Yeah. I think that's everything. I'm going to do a little performance video of this next week with the solo played through. Here we'll kind of just break it down bit by bit so that the video doesn't go on for hours and hours. So we've just come out of the bit where you climb up. And we're in E minor pentatonic. And it changes around quite a lot because he follows the chords. And we're going to start off with this bit that he took from the actual Little Wing solo, which is a 15th fret bend on the B string. Let it come back down, then pick the 12th fret of the B, hammer on back, so pick it again, hammer on to 15, and then come back and pick 12 and pick the bass E at the same time. As I say, rather than going through each lick loads of times, just rewind the video if you go. I'm just going to play it through nice and slow. Then we have this lick, which is a lovely little slide up of both the 10th frets on the B and the E string. With the bass as well, you can do a little forward roll in this right hand. So you don't pick them all at the same time, you just go one after the other nice and quickly. So slide it up to 12 and slide it back to 10. Then pick the B string, hammer to the 12, and then you pick the open E, sorry not the open E, the 10th fret of the E. And then you're going to pick the B string again and do another hammer on, this time a little quicker. And then you're going to pick the B again, 10th fret, and then the open G. Sorry, 12th fret of the G, same note. Okay, so those first two together, nice and slow. Then we pick an A minor chord, or A minor 7. Laurence Juber does it with just a 1 finger bar. If I do that, it sounds like that a lot of the time. So I tend to play it with my first finger bar in 4 strings and my thumb bar in the bass. You can also do it like this if you find that more comfortable. And we're going to do a another forward roll with this hand. We're going to pick the bass and then the bottom 3 strings. So we come out with this, and then we have this lick. Which is just rolling through. Then your thumb picks the 7th fret of the A string, and then you pick through again. So we got that. Then we hammer onto the B, 8th fret, with your little finger, and then you pick the 5th fret of the E. And then using the bass again, pick both E strings, hammer on, pull off with your ring finger on the 7th fret. Back to the 8th fret of the B, then the 7th fret of the D, then the 5th fret of the E, and then back to the 8th fret of the B. And then we have a little slide, 7th fret to 9 of the G. That's quite a lot of information. I'll do that again nice and slow. Hammer on, 5th fret of the E, bass and E together, hammer on to the 7th fret, pull off, 8th fret of the B, 7th fret of the D, open E, 5th fret of the E, 8th fret of the B, slide 7 to 9. Sorry, let's do that again. So that's sliding 7th fret into the D, 7th fret into the 9th fret of the D. Pick with your ring finger, pick the 7th fret of the G. Then we go to the ring finger to the 7th fret of the D, which is a little bit strange. And you're going to slide to 8, slide back, pull off to the 5th fret of the D. Then you're going to go 7, 5 on the A, and there's a tiny little bit of a pause. Then you're going to pick the 5th fret of the E, hammer on to the 6th fret of the E, pull off, slide back to the 3rd fret. Pull off. Hammer on back to the 3rd fret, but with your ring finger this time. Open A, 2nd fret of the A. Then we go 3, 2, 0 on the bass. Whole lick really slow. Okay, just play through what we got so far, nice and slow. Then we have the really fast bit, which is based over the B minor, A minor progression in the verse. That's the first one. We slide into the 7th fret of the B, and we're going to go forward roll, those top 3 strings again, and then when you get to the E, you're going to do a hammer on, pull off at the 10th fret of the E. And then you're just walking down the pentatonic scale, so we're going to pick the 7th fret of the B, hammer on to the 10th, pull off, 7, 9 on the G, pull off, 7, 9, 7 on the D. Then we go 9, 8, 7 on the E, on the A, pull offs, down to 10 on the E. Then we go to 7, 9, 7 on the A, hammer on, pull off. So that's back to 10 on the E, back to 7 on the A, and then 10 on the E, 7 slides to 6 on the E, and then you play 5 on the A. If you're using your thumb, you need to use your thumb. If you're using your finger, use your first finger. So I'll play through it really slowly once, then I'll play through it a little bit quicker. And these two kind of link into each other. You'll listen to Laurence Juber play, and he plays what we call free time. So he just plays bits fast, bits slow, not really playing to any tempo because he's playing on his own. So if there's certain bits you find too fast or really complicated, you can slow them down and then speed up other bits. It's not like set to a beat like most songs are. Right, the A. Okay, so another quite long lick. We've just come out with that. And we're going to go, you've picked that 5 on the bass. You're going to pick the 5th fret of the D, hammer onto the 7th, slide it up to the 9th, If you have done it like this, you'll need to do a hammer on. So pick the 5th fret of the D, slide the 7th of the 9, then you're going to pick 5, 5, 5 across the top 3 strings. When you pick that 5th fret of the E, hammer on the 7th fret, and then you're going to slide up 7 to 8, back to 7, pull off to 5. B string 5th fret, G string 5th fret, then hammer on again, 5th fret to the 7th of the D, slide up to 9, play the 7th fret of the G, back to the 9th fret of the A, and then slide it back to the 7th. Really slow. Then we take our first G, that G chord we had in the verse and intro, where he takes his middle finger off that G and the little finger comes down. And we pick through it. So we play bass, D, G, then we play E and B together and slide the whole chord up 2 frets and back. Then pick the bass again, and then pick the bottom 3 strings together and slide it down. Then when you get to the F, pick it twice. Then we come to the C. Sorry, that was a terrible C. We have this lick, which is just holding that C chord. In the right hand you're going to go A string, D string, sorry not the D string, A string, G string, B string, hammer onto the 3rd fret, open E, then pick the 3rd fret of the B, pull off, open G. Open D, and then strum a D chord. So we're going to take it from that A minor chord nice and slow through to the first D. Okay, then we have this line. So we come to the 7th fret of the A, then you're going to hammer on to the 9th fret, and then you're going to pick the 7th fret of the D and the G together, pick them again, and hammer on, pull off the 9th fret of the D. Hammer on 7 to 9 again on the A, and then pick 10 on the bass, slide it to nothing. It's very sort of Hendrix, playing a D inverted so that you got the F sharp in the bass. Then we have this lovely line. Which is kind of playing off that same slide we had earlier. We're going to be 10th fret with the ring finger, sliding the 10s to 12 and back again. And you can add throw in a bass E if you like as well. And then slide it back. First finger grabs the 2 7s on the E and the B. And then you're going to come back to the 5th fret, slide to the 7th, slide back. Sorry, it's a bit messy. Then you come to the 7s on the B and the G. Pick it twice, second time you hammer onto 8 and 9. 8 of the B, 9 of the G. And then you're going to pick those two 7s in the middle. So D and G with a bass E. And then hammer on to the two 9s in the middle. So really slow. So here we grab another bass E, and then we're going to pick the two 7s in the middle, D then G, and then pick the G twice, and the second time you hammer onto the 9th fret. Then you grab the 8th fret of the B, 10th fret of the B, bend it up, bend it back, 8th fret of the B, 9th fret of the G. Then we're coming down to these Gs. So we're grabbing the 3rd fret of the B and the E, 3rd fret of the bass. Do a little forward roll again, just on those 3 notes. And do a hammer on pull off on the 5th fret of the E. So a lot of the techniques are very similar. Pick the 3rd fret of the B, then grab the 5th fret of the D, so you've got that G octave. Then do that same forward roll again with that little pull off, and then pick 5 on the B, 3 on the B. So those two together. Slide it, well we grab the A minor chord again, A minor 7. Very, very similar, we're going to do a forward roll. Grab the 7th fret of the E on the hammer on pull off. And then you pick the 8th fret of the B, pick the 5th fret of the A. Then this one's a little bit more complicated. We do the same forward roll, and then you don't pull off, you then pick the 8th fret. So you go 7th fret, and pick the 8th fret, then do a hammer on pull off with your little finger, so it's 7, 8, 7. Another pull off to the 5th fret, grab the 8th fret of the B, pull off to the 5th. So from the G, then you walk this first finger up, you play the 7th fret of the D, hammer it to the 9th, play the 7th fret of the G, hammer it to the 9th, but when you pick the 9th, when you hammer the 9th, make sure you pick a bass E with your right hand. This is a nice little line, so you got that little bit. Grab 8, 10 on the B, just like we did before, bend it up and down again, and then you pick the 8th fret of the B, and then we do a slide 7, 8, 7 on the B, and then grab the 9th fret of the G. And then we grab a B minor chord. We're going to pick the B and the bass together. Then you play the G, 7th fret, and then you play the 9th fret of the D. and then you play the bass and you pick the B and the E together. So that whole little line. Then we have this. Sorry, we don't have that, we have this. So we've just played that bass, B and E together. Then you're going to play 8th fret of the E string with your middle finger, 10th fret with your little, and then you play the E string, then the B string, 7th fret. And then an open A chord. No. Sorry, brain's going all over the place there. Let's try that again. So you play the 8th fret with your middle finger, 10th fret with your little finger, 7th fret of the B, open A. Then we have this line. Where we're grabbing the 7th fret of the E, 9th fret of the D, and then we just keep this shape and move it up to the 8 and 10, back to 7 and 9, 7 and 5, 3 and 5, back to 7 and 5, back to 3 and 5, to 2 and 0. So that's the first bit. Sometimes he slides them. Doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer the sound of. Then you go 3 and 5 on the B string and A string, 7 and 5, 8 and 10. I prefer sliding it, but you obviously play around. Then we use this, we bring our middle finger down, so we basically have a C chord, or C shape, 8, 9, 10. And then he does this finger picking pattern, which he changes every time. So what I tend to play around with is play the A string, and then I play B, G, D, and then open E, B, G, D. Move it down a string, 2 frets, sorry. Then you play C, play the A string, and then you hammer on the 2nd fret of the D. Then you play the open G, hammer on the 1st fret of the B, open G, back to the 2nd fret of the D. Then we're into another D, pick the bass, pick the D string, so the bass of the D. And then we have a pick, down, down, up, down, up. Again, you can make your own one. So, then you're going to take a C power chord, slide it up to the 7th fret, to the E, and then play the D at the 5th fret. And then do the same strumming pattern. Then we walk through an E minor, D over F sharp, and then a C, but with the G in the bass, so C over G, and then he doesn't play the 1st finger. Sounds a bit weird on its own. And once you play that G, or C over G, just cut it straight away. So all together, the strumming pattern again, that's the one I do. You can vary it if you prefer the sound. Okay. We come straight up to the 10th fret of the B and we do a pre-bend. And pull back to the 8th fret of the B. And then we play the 10th and slide it to the 12th. So then we play 3, 5, 7 on the bass. Then we take the A minor chord and we play this lovely little lick. Very Hendrixy, a very cool lick. So we're picking the bass of the A minor, then we pick the G, the B, and the E, the D, the G, and the B together. Little slap. Come to the 5th fret of the A string, hammer onto the 7th fret. And then you pick the 5s of the G and the D. Come up to the 7th fret, same two strings, pick them and hammer on, pull off the 9th fret of the D, and slide back to 5. 7th fret of the A, pick the two 5s in the middle again, hammer onto the 7th fret, pull off of the D, and then slide 7 to 5 on the A. And then open E to do the next line. This one's a bit funky. We play that bass E and we slide in to the 11th and the 10th fret, G and B. Pick the G first, then the B. Then we pick the G again, B again, slide back a semitone, so 10 and 9. Pick the G, then the B again, slide back again. Pick the G, then the B. Then pick them both together, little bend, and back. And then you pick the two 7s on the B and the G. Then we have this. We have this, which is quite simple compared to the rest of it. Your bar in that 7th fret again, 10 on the D, then 7 7 G B, 9 7 7, 7 7 7. And then this one I do play like Laurence Juber with. I use the full finger. Kind of hard to see. Your bar in that 5th fret, you're going to play the 9th fret with your little finger of the D, and then you pick out the G and the B strings. And then you pull off 7th fret to 5 on the D. And then we do a little bend with the 7th fret and then pull off to the 5. Pick 7 5, 7 5 on the A and the E. So then we grab the G, because we're going to play that same chord. We're going to pick G, then we're going to play G on the 5th fret of the D. Slide up, do that thing again, we all know that one now. And then we take the one that we did in the verse, which is C, play the A string, 3rd fret C, play the C, which is the first fret of the B, twice, hammer onto the 3rd fret, open E, and then play that 2nd fret at the G, or play the open D. And then just like we led into the solo, that bit's the same, then we have this ending. A little bit quicker. So, the last bit. We've played the bass E, then we pick the 17th fret of the thin E, bend it up and down, 15 to 14, pull off twice, then play 15 on the B, 16 on the G. 14th fret of the G, slide it up, grab 15 on the G again, slide 16 back to 14 on the G. Sorry, that 15 was on the B. And then you're going to grab 12 on the G. Little pull off. And then we have this recurring line where we're going to go 14, 12 on the D, pull off, roll down, grab the 12 on the G, and then 14, 12, pull off again. And then this one's very slightly different, 14, 12, 14 on the A, so it's pull off, hammer on. Grab the 12 on the D this time, go back to 14 on the A, pull off to 12, slide back to 10. So from the first one, then you grab the 12 on the bass, pull off to the bass, that's the same thing, 12, pull off to the 0, and then you're going to go 10, 12, hammer on, and then pick the 10 on the A. And then you pull off again. Then as you pull off from the 12, you're going to play 7, hammer on to 10. Then you pick 7 on the A. So from the 12, pull off, hammer on 7, 10, pick 7 of the D. Then you go 10, 7, pull off. Then you do the same thing but 5 and 7. 5th fret of the A. Pull off again. And then the last one is 2, 3 on the bass, 2 on the A. Sorry, that was a bit messy. Then when you get to there, you go 3 on the bass, and you do this hammer on, pull off, 3 and 2 for as many goes as you want. And then when you want to finish, you pull off to the open E, and you play a 12th fret harmonic, and just let it ring. So just finish your playthrough the whole solo really slow.